Okay. Hi there. This is Anne-Marie Tooland from My Innate Vitality, and I am here with Yukiko Tsukamoto. She's a good friend of mine. We have
Yeah.
lots of crazy energy chats, and we're just going to have a chat about energy healing, and going to have a bit of a conversation about how Yukiko came to where she is now. So, Yukiko, great to meet you again. Can you share some information about yourself?
My information is about my healing background, you mean, right?
Yeah,
Healing.
yeah. How did you come to
Okay.
this?
Well, actually, I start doing this I can recall it maybe from like 20 years old. Not
Okay.
with this module because I started doing yoga when I was in San Francisco. I was an art student, and then in San Francisco before when I was sixth grade already, my mother was taking me to the yoga center, which I had no idea. But this spirituality starts, from when I was little. Then when I was about 20 in San Francisco, then I start doing like interested in psychics and yoga and all these uh, spiritual things that it's always around in my city. So I start discovering interesting things. And more I go into, it just really connects my interest in this kind of field. And then of course my job was totally different. That was more creative field, art and brand developing when I went back to Japan. But still my other side, freelance, and my training was ayurveda training, on the working full time. But on the other side I was going to the course for taking a yoga, become a yoga instructor. And
Okay.
also I was doing every time in the summer I was going to like fasting, more like yoga field, right? So it's connected to spirituality, but mainly bodies, so body, mind, spirit. So
Yeah.
that time I was into this body parts, and then mind, spirit. It's a yoga field. So I start teaching yoga, and then Ayurvedic is massage, and then start learning about the Vedic world, like how to treat people, and then do massage course. Then you start feeling that energy flows and everything integrated that time. And then start taking microbiotic cooking, which is a Japanese old method, cooking. And but still was not really enough for me, was some spiritual side. It's something that needs to transformation part that I was more into it, but it doesn't
Yeah.
really connect with me. So then I start traveling to doing all the retreat, whenever I have a time for myself, besides my work was in Tokyo. And so then yoga retreats, then go to how do you call this, like in Thailand, and you do other modalities and spiritual people meeting mediums, and all sorts of
Okay.
things, then
Yeah.
start like integrated what I've learned, and from the an experience that I had, it's becomes real into my life, that I can apply to something, what's happening that moment,
Yeah.
you follow
That's
me?
so cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
that's
So
perfect.
life is like journey, so I've learned so many modality. So I told you three different yoga training, and then 1 year of a whole serious Ayurvedic training in Japan. And also I've done body talk. That was a
Yeah.
way after body
Yeah.
talk. Then in between I was doing more of integration of body work, like acupressure, of course, Reiki and everything, so
Yeah.
that. And then I was traveling, all the time after I quit my job, and traveling to Europe, all of a sudden that
Yeah.
happens, and I travel like many places, and I treat people in a different country, in a different class, from yeah, really hit, um, gypsy street kids, to really high-end kids, people who are really
Yeah.
top, a celebrity or so and so. So I see different kind of people from different culture, and I've learned, even using the same method, or I see the same symptoms, the way people explain is totally different. But I see it, this is how it is. But how the people, how the mentality of people, how their background and how they programmed in their mind, they start seeing in the same, not the problem, the symptom. They i- see it as how they believe, so then
Yeah.
if this belief can be changed, that they can be free, and they can release the stress, and then they can feel it's healed, because they acknowledges that it's healed, then feels better. So I start
Yeah.
doing that way of a treatment. Before I was doing Psyche already, and I couldn't explain it. More like people are seeing I'm more like shamanic or like spiritual work, and using a points and energy. That was already, that it's my art expression that I was doing, but I didn't know how to explain
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
Then one day I was looking for something that I can really explain, logically. Then YouTube. One day I was looking at the YouTube and Dr. Lipton, and like many uh, Dr. Dispenza and so. And I see Psyche. I said Psyche. Then I start, yeah, like in middle of the night at 2 o'clock or 3 a.m. Psyche, okay. And I just clicked this YouTube and start seeing, and then it's like, oh, this is something that's very interesting, and it might be I would love to learn this.
Okay.
Then I start, so I took this course, one in
Yeah.
Tokyo, and then I took one in America, and then
The
Holland,
Netherlands.
Netherlands. I met you, right? I mean, and then
Yeah.
also like basic class I took from also in several cities, because that was also interesting. Same basic or advanced or the other course I take from different countries, and all these people who are coming to take, they have a different issue, and then each group has a tend to fall into like one category in each. So then,
Yeah.
but our method is so simple, so that it's not so we it's just straightforward, but
Yeah.
I realize that we need to be very creative and open-minded, to use this yeah, tool,
Yeah.
to how
Yeah.
to adjust it. It's like a painting,
Yeah.
it's a tool. So
Perfect.
that was
I didn't know that you came from yoga. That's something new that I didn't know. That's actually really cool
yeah,
because
I was
I did this.
hardcore
Uh,
yoga practice, and then
yeah.
also do. I tell you not in this video, but I was really in a yogi guru. I mean, I meet very interesting people by chance. I attract these people. But first yogi that who brought into America, these three yogi that I'm not gonna mention. Maybe everybody knows if it's three yogis. I just invited, and then during the Christmas I was just a regular yogis, but I would see all these top yogis getting together and doing the ceremonies, and they talk about how they become very famous in a way. It's by chance, they were there at the era being in yoga. India, and so and so and so and so. So I have this interesting life, that meeting these kind of people, not only yoga. I would see astronaut when I was in high school in Houston, and I was I'm not sure if I can say it in here, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Um, this astronaut, but uh, he came to me, and he said, I was at his office, and he said, yeah, I just came back from the moon, and here is a very important there is a stone from the moon that it's very precious. Do you want to touch it? I mean, that time I was in high school, so I have no idea. But anyway, well, okay, just a black stone. But this is something powerful, you know. Or
Yeah.
I would see in shaman in Thailand and in Hawaii and even in Vienna and all these people. They whenever they see me, they start telling me you're the light brother or so and so, Then I'm not really believing myself that I can I'm not the light brother, I don't do any magic and so on. So, but all this city that when I go, I meet this kind of spiritual people, and then
Yeah.
yeah, they tell me interesting stories, and I also myself I have a very strong death nearly death experience, and then going over to nearly going to the heavens, and I start hearing this voice. So one day, the water coming when I was swimming, in less than 0.001 second of the light, they just deliver me so much message. Then I had to write down so many messages from the future, and so I had this. So but I don't know where I can fit myself and how to
Okay.
use it. But anyway, all are integrated, and then here I am. I'm doing these sessions. Sorry, it's long,
Yeah.
and yeah,
It's
whoever
been a
it comes,
journey.
huh? Yeah, it's been a journey. I
It's
mean,
been a journey. Yeah.
it's a long.
That's what I love about it. The more you talk to people, we all kind of come at it from different angles, but where you come to at the end is like, it's all about energy, it's all about subconscious belief change, and it's that power that you have. But it is that kind of flow of, I started when I was on that journey. I started as a traditional Thai massage therapist, which I thought was really interesting. And it is that kind of thing that you made an observation that um, I would have these people coming every week for a massage for a couple of months, and they would feel better. But their stories that they were telling me were all the same. It was, you could see, I had one client who, he was Italian, and he was so tense and he was so stressed and he just wasn't happy in his life. But he hated his job, he wasn't very happy where he lived and stuff. And you do the work on their body and you release the stress, you clear the blockages, and they feel better, and they go away, and they don't need a massage anymore for a little while because they're feeling good. But then a couple of months later, inevitably they come back again, and it's the same thing. And you're like I was thinking to myself, I I can see why you need a massage. I can see what your beliefs are. Even then, I didn't really, like, I hadn't entered that foray, that field of kind of like belief change and all that sort of stuff at that stage. But it was that kind of like, you could see what stress this person was under. You could see why their body was reacting that way. I had other people, it was a pattern for all these people. They all came for a specific reason, but it was all about stress and what they believed about the world. And they weren't willing to change that. It was like, I'm
It's
here, this is what
habit,
it
right?
is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that I'm
programmed.
here, this is what it is. Yeah. And I'm going to continue here. I have to keep along this path. It's hurting me. I know it's hurting me. I'm going to go and get a couple of months of relief. I'm going to go and do the massage. And massage, I love massage. So powerful for clearing blockages. But if you do have that thing where you're still going back into the same environment, you still have the same stress, you still have the same beliefs, then you're going to get back to where you were. And that's that's what struck me when you were talking about that. It's like, it's the same pattern until you change it. That's what's powerful about what we do.
It's also,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying to do. I'm not against with any religion. I'm a free spirit person, but some country is very attached to the religion, and they would
Hmm.
see the way the what's going on in her or his life is because of the demon, or it's not the right way that they behave. It's so I said, that's not the way. But I would see these kind of people also, and those, and because belief really can make stress. Yeah, I mean, we also
Yeah.
have that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
For sure.
And also I lately I approaches I also was doing a tarot reading card. I mean, tarot is coming from ancient, so that system is also needs to be, our time is also evolving. So it's so the constitution or the basic part of it, as a humanity, we don't change so much, but the tarot card is still, it has it's not perfect. Yeah, we need to apply it in these generations to see. But
Yeah.
anyway, I would see, and in Japan, lots of people likes to read a tarot card as a counseling, and I don't do that.
Okay.
People, what's going to happen or no. I would use this card as a how they see, just to connect with the card, and then get into the card, and then how this their life is happening at this moment, or how what they can see at that moment in their applied to their life. Then they can share with me, then I can pull out that issue, then I do the balance. This is the one way that I would do. And
Hmm.
also sometimes I do, if they know the birthday and the birth time and the birthplace, and I calculate it, and then I kind of, not exactly because it's fixed, and I don't like fixation too much. I like to be
Okay.
free of time, because we also have a will to change our life. We have a right to create our life, whatever we want. So, but
Empowerment.
anyway, some people are um very goal oriented, some other are not goal oriented. We are talking about that. Yeah, that is good. Anyway, so if the person is structured as a goal oriented, and then just as for example psyche, it's better that I walk with them towards the goal, and then I start like a blockage, or doing the balance, or I do the energy walk or whatever. But if I
Yeah.
see this person is not goal oriented, because these people are not meant to have a fixation of their mind, is they know what they want. They don't have that egocentric. It's not bad. Ego is not bad, but if they don't have that part is fixed, so it's open, so that means that they're very more creative, and they can wonder all the time, which is great in some field, right? So these people, they what they need to do is more not goal oriented, to release the blockage, because more they wonder, they have this great like eye clouds that they can just of like a sponge. They can, oh, I wonder, I want this. Then start create. Idea comes. From even from the other people or other mind and other olic field, and then they need to digest it. Then they create something, then it's
Yeah.
okay. But if these people, they got confused and then making a goal, they, of course, they are not meant to made for making a goal. They're more like they know from the feeling, this is what they want, okay. But these feeling, these idea, that the more they wonder, more idea comes, these part they need to release, so then the
Yeah.
approach will be different. So I'm using lately, I mean, especially for, I live in Japan, so
Yeah.
most at this moment I have a Japanese client at the moment. So yeah, so they like to be more systematic, analytic, and they want to know how it's made, and then they want to do the facilitate from there, so that their mind is this way, very creative, but they want to have some structure. So I'm approaching
Do
this
you
way.
find do you find that sometimes though that if you're the more goal orientated you are, the and more systematic that your clients are, the more stress they can have around that, because it is that kind of they want this and they want it, that's very clear, but then they keep adding all this stress on top because it doesn't seem to be easy, and they don't seem to know how to get there. So in some respects, when I'm working with people who are very goal orientated, yes, it's very easy to get rid of, like, try and work through all that stress, but it is that case of sometimes that's actually more challenging because it's so fixated and systematic that it builds when it doesn't come easily, or when you just can't get there. That adds all this extra layers of stress and these beliefs and stuff. It actually can be more challenging. I in my experience, that's kind of challenging.
Yeah, but also, but for example, those people who can't make a goal, it's like blind, then
Oh
you
yeah.
just and then but I don't know, but I know everything is going to be okay. This is also the stress, and then all this thought is coming as a stress, and then you have to release and have to believe it. But at the same time, the belief system is not coming from the mind. It's more like sensations, like
Yeah.
maybe the muscle test can be good for these people. I mean,
Yeah.
I still have to work on that, that. So pendulum or something, so that without a head, yes or no or something, that we need to train this way, so that like a blind person, okay, this way is good, and see what happens, and then open the door and then see what happens, and then okay, and then you choose, oh, this way, that way,
Yeah.
this, but the stress that we get, I think, is the same. But the
Yeah.
goal
But
oriented is
that's that's your power. That's how you are able to help people, is basically just open the door for them, and they can make a choice whether to step through or not, and give them options. That's the holding the space and the facilitation. That's the
yeah,
that's
and
the power of
also
what we do. Yeah.
yeah, and also, like, I mean, we are all humans, so we have this like a well, if we want to do something and we get this stress, and then we kind of go over the stress and then see what happens. But most of the time, like using psyche or other modality, once it's release it, or once we accept it, oh, okay, that's what it is, and then now it's released, like free ourselves, and then move forward. Then you feel good, that because the vibration is higher. When you feel good, you don't really care, if the other what other people think, or what kind of make a mistake can cause my stress, and so it doesn't matter when you're really happy, or
Yeah.
in a high level of vibrations, then you said, oh, whatever, you do it, and just give it try and see what happens. So I'm just
Yeah.
aiming for this lately, to give them a lift, and then
Yeah.
see them a possibility or the positive side. And even if something happens in that it's not um, what they expect it to be, which is still okay, because you still gonna get something. And I always want to support them and to give them a support, and also guide them to the
Yeah.
possible way, because
Yeah.
that's my strength. I always
Well, it's
like to see the possibilities. I'm
yeah.
yeah, pioneer, like traveler. We always like this.
Yeah.
We, that's also my life experience, traveling to different countries that I don't know anyone, and I've never been to, and I just go there and I start make a networking and doing therapy and get to know people. Like, this is, now I think about it, because I was open my heart, and I have a very pure, genuine energy, and always welcome other people. And then people was telling me, you're too open, too open. I didn't know what this means, but now I kind of see myself with how I was. It's, yeah, this was the gift, because I'm not really afraid of anything. People would say, why you go to this like gypsy, this little back street, and then these people can be really dangerous. But I never thought about that. I was asked
Yeah.
to treat this little kid who was not really, not ADHD, but they're really wild. They're really wild, living in a cave. they believe my magic. They saw that I will have a magic, so but I knew that how to treat them with the points. And then they came calm down, they listen, and they change their behavior. So that was something that really I got the trust from them. So
Mm.
since then I don't really care. I go to the back alley and they protect me. It was really funny. And but it was like one of those, you know they go to at night, they get something, or
Yeah.
deliver, and they can. I mean, that kind of street I never thought danger, because
But that's the thing.
I
That's all your perception. It's all a perception.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So there's like a open your heart. I mean, not like a stupid, but not like stupidly like ignorant that you go into the dangerous place. But anyway, the point is, when your heart is open, or you open up this stress, then act on it. Something else comes up and it feels good. But at the end, it really doesn't matter what other people think of what the situation is, because
It's all
it
about
feels
you.
it's all about you. Yes, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Relationship too. I mean, lately I have this love relationship, or all these things. This is new. Before was more ADHD, or more stress about their bodies, and epilepsy, or some serious causing problem, because some country, when I was there, they see me as a doctor. I mean, I have a doctor lineage. My families are doctors, so that's how I grew up. So that's
Okay.
naturally, I see people and treat people. This is how I am. So I'm very comfortable seeing people like this. So
Yeah.
maybe that's how they catch me. That was also interesting.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
you trained is really where your
Your
family,
experiences are.
the experience. But
Yeah.
anyway, here these days, tarot card, and I mean, art industry, so designers and like art creators and more really high creative people, they
Mhm.
like me. So they ask me about the futures, and also the love relationships, like normal relationships, and
Yeah.
so and so.
And how did you do you want to talk a little bit about body talk? How did you actually find body talk? What is it that spoke to you about it?
Body talk also. Body talk was also
What were you
after
doing before the body talk? Like,
body
so how
talk.
did you come to body talk?
Okay, that's also by chance. Before body talk, I was already doing this massage, and Ayurvedic
Hmm.
massage is Reiki, and also energy points, because the points that I have is, I think, my from my family lineage. I know all these points by naturally, because I was already
Intuition.
yeah,
Yeah.
when I was little, from the best doctors. So when something happens and they touch or they do needles, everything. So I know by just I don't know the name. So I was
Yeah.
treating client this way, and that's how I travel and then get my life. Somehow to manage my life, to get through, to travel so many countries. Yeah. Then when I came back from this travel, then I said, no, I need some kind of structure of my what I do. Then I also find out with the YouTube,
Okay.
looking at
Okay.
YouTube. Yeah, YouTube. This era is computer. Yeah.
The whole
Then,
world is open for everybody.
yeah. So then body talk. Then I start watching, and then look hearing about the method, and that really triggered me, because he's coming from acupuncture lineage also, and also shamanic. They have
Mhm.
indigenous method that he was using and respected. So I said, okay, this is very interesting, and also it's connected with innate wisdom, which I liked. Energy fields, and also past life, and also matrix, and so it's not only about the body. It's like an auric field, and then you go to more yeah, it's
Energy.
beyond, it's beyond
Yeah.
the body,
So you ask for guidance from whoever's there available to give you the guidance. It's
yeah,
more
yeah,
about like energies and stuff.
yeah. And it's not me that do controlling anything. It's, I believe in this, the client's innate wisdom. So that's also muscle testing. And then how I need to train is, if it's yes or no, I need to be very sensitive about this muscle reactions. And also what yeah, also what I liked about is very right. I was creative in like beyond, but the left side is so analytic. Also, I have this part, but it's not concrete. About this system, about the body and energies, and all this mapping. And
Yeah.
psych the body talk has this whole scheme, and I kind of like it. It's like a spaceship, right? It's like it's a like a blueprint. How the body structures, body tissues, and a nerve system, and the fear, and also like bones, and and organs, and yeah, hormones, and all this
Yeah.
system that we have. It's like a spaceship. And I had to memorize every single things in my left brain, analytical brain, to just
Yeah.
putting all the informations. And then and there's a certain system how I can go about it. So it's like learning how to drive a car or spaceship.
Yeah.
So then I would use the right brain to connect, then ask the wisdom to see how this mechanic is telling me, it, then making a chart. I really like
Hmm.
this system, because that's I've been doing. And
Yeah.
I this one, by doing this, I could explain better to the client. So that's
But
why
it is
I
that
would.
recognition. Yeah, is that recognition and that learning for people to recognize that what's going on in their mind is actually really affecting their body as well. It's affecting their hormones, it's affecting their blockages in their body, the flow of energy, and that creates
Yeah,
disease. I mean, it's really that kind of awakening for people to recognize that what's going on between your two ears is actually causing damage to your body sometimes, and
yeah,
that's the
it's like a
power.
manual book. At the end, you don't really need a reason. It just the body knows everything so much. We can't even explain what so and so. It's just so little brain, and then trying to explain it, it's just beyond. But anyway, at
Yeah.
least we to communicate human to human. I mean, this beyond is we can't. Okay, only those people who know. But anyway, we need to communicate with the clients, and they want to understand what's going on at least. So to have that thing, I wanted to give some information to so that they feel like they got some information and feel better. Finding the reason.
Yeah.
Many people were finding a reason. So just because of that, I just wanted to learn the language and the system. So I took this so that I know the system and I can explain to well.
Yeah.
Actually, there is more beyond, but to
Yeah.
what it is, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's how I learned. I found out this body talk, which was good, but it was not exactly yet. Then I found Psyche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is that thing. It's like it is that potentiality of opening the door and kind of going, okay, this covers this, and this is what I needed to know. But then there's still something there. What is it that I can lead on to now? And it is that journey of kind of like, forever learning and kind of being able to recognize that there's more out there. And I mean, you're a life learner. Like every day you're learning stuff, and it is that kind of ability to kind of go, okay, I've got this now, but this leaves questions. So I'm going to follow them and see where I can go. So powerful. But now PSYCH-K, you use PSYCH-K, and but you want to tell us a little bit about PSYCH-K? What do you do with PSYCH-K?
Psyche is a very simple tool. Yeah. And then just
Yeah,
release means stress means everything in this world. Everything is actually, we make a different words, but it's all about stress. So,
yeah,
the key point is the psyche is helping us how to release the stress, which is pretty much covers, how to to solve the problem. Yeah. So then we learn about the relationship balance and different modules and so on, so, and that's also like a system that like a manual book we could learn, and
yeah.
then
What
step by step.
Yeah. What I love about it is the recognition and the realization that, 95% of the time you're actually not aware of how you're acting. You're just going along on a computer program. And then you say to people, and your computer program was formed between the ages of 0 and 7. And they kind of look at you and kind of like, you don't actually have an original thought or an original belief until you start to change your beliefs and, create a new
Mhm.
way for yourself. But you kind of go, your beliefs are your parents' beliefs, and their beliefs were their parents' beliefs. And, it is that kind of intergenerational kind of thing where you kind of go, well, what's original there? And as innate humans, we would try to, or we do rely on our subconscious to keep us safe. That's all the subconscious is there for: procreation and keeping you safe. So there's no creativity there. It's all
And
belief
also
based, but it is. Oh, yeah.
sorry, no,
We don't what?
so we don't, and sometimes we don't, sorry, cut your great talk.
No, no, no,
we
no. Continue.
we don't really sometimes we don't know what's the reason why we stop, or making this problem or the stress, but the body really remembers, yeah, most of the time. That's why this is the psyche is great about this. We don't really sometimes have to know exactly what it is, but we believe that our body knows. Our body really is really connected to like a subconscious mind that automatically reacts, before we think. So that part to release and detach, then it will release the stress. Then of course, our mind becomes whole brain and is peaceful, and then that time we program it in a certain goal or whatever, and then just give some support. I mean, that also the support or like a cheerleader, like to facilitate. This is also part of that. It's very important. I feel, bye
Yeah,
bye, okay, now you're balanced, bye bye. No, I mean, for me, maybe it's my character, maybe for you too. Just I really want to know that, sometimes they said, okay, everything is okay, but just wonder. So I always wish that they come back like 3 times or 5 times if it's heavy, but at least 3 times to just give it a try, because more you come back, you discover yourself more, and then
yeah,
then start seeing, oh, this is how I drive my cars, like I drive
yeah,
myself. And let's see, maybe something stress comes and they will probably able to manage. They can capture the stress. If they cannot do it, they can always come back to the facilitator, or
yeah,
they can learn by themselves, or they see beyond. Oh, this is a stress means that some gift is beyond, is there, so let's try, just move forward,
yeah. And
something.
that's the thing.
So
I aim to see people about 4 times. But what I do when I send them away is, because we're not programmed to remember good things. Actually, if you think about all of the experiences you can remember in your life, they're usually attached to some stress or some negative emotion. Because when you're whole brained, you're just flowing, and it's just, it's beautiful, it's peaceful, it's calm. So I say to people when they go away that they really consciously have to be aware of that ripple effect. They may have a really profound shift but generally speaking, it's about how they react in their world. So it's like that, throwing the pebble in the pond and seeing the ripple effect. And it's about how people interact with you, how life interacts with you, but how you perceive the world almost. It's how you step into your life. And you might see something that in the past has caused you stress, and you're going to go, oh, okay, I'm aware of it now, and I'm feeling different about it. And that is the thing, because what they say with PSYCH-K is that they don't say permanent, because we don't know what permanent is, but they say it's long standing. And so the changes that you'll make, the stress that you're transforming, and the beliefs that you're changing are
Mhm.
not, it's not like it's going to change back. It's like once you've removed that stress, it stays removed. You're kind of whole brained about it, and it just becomes part of your life. But then it's the beauty of being able to see, this is how it affects the rest of my life, how it interacts with everything else, how people interact with me. And that's the beauty of it. That's that kind of, the the power in kind of, you
Yeah.
come once and these are the changes you make. How can I build on that? So I would see people like, I usually get people, I have a full program package. So I suggest that people come 4 times, and then
Yeah,
you're going
and
to
that
go away.
it's a raising a vibrations. Like some people say raising
Yeah,
a vibrations, but it's the same thing. It's a raising a vibration. Is this?
yeah,
In a psychic version is this, and
yeah,
also, um, like law of attractions and so on. So we had this kind of era, like in 10 years or so. But actually, that's if we say, like our mind is very electric, and then our heart is magnetic, then these days it's like a heart is and the mind is a balance, and then marries together, and then that's how if we balance this way, and then we mirror it into what we see. That's how that's a role of attraction, I think. So if our mind, the perception is stuck, then that feeling, of course, when I feel this way, and the heart starts feeling like depressed or like no blocked, then that
closed.
close, and that's also married. And then
Yeah,
that marrying to the that becomes a love attraction. Then of course even you want to do something, you feel the block, because that
yeah,
mind, is first is here is a separated, and the mind is so strong, and then they can control it so hard. Then you can't. So once this part is whole brain and released, and also intentionally we give our heart open, to more loving or caring, or something to open up, then start having this marriage, yeah, interactions
ha-
going
coherence. Yeah, heart brain
coherent.
coherence. Yeah,
Yeah. Then do this psyche balance or whatever, then just keep this field for 1 day or 2 day or 3 days and see what happened, and then come back and tell me about the miracle. That's what
yeah.
I want to.
Send out the
Yeah.
power. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah.
What,
Yeah.
what do you hope? What do you hope for people who are coming to you to your practice? Like, what benefits do you want people to receive from the work that you do?
I wish for everyone to find the goodness of each of them. Everybody has its potentials and the greatness. Even they've done something really shameful or something bad or depressed or something. That's the reason they want to shine the light, from inside out. So they just choose to bring some case to break it through. So I wish that they all these people find their goodness or the possibilities, and then create their life they wish for, even they don't know
Perfect.
that moment. Just open up and feels good and happy and feels light, and then bring their face more like shining and smile, then I'm very happy. And all
Yeah.
of yeah. Then they really start like sharing a story about whatever, even it doesn't make sense to them. They really start open up and then start having a conversation with me, and I love that. I just love
Yeah.
crazy story or really serious story. Anything is for me is amazing if it's coming from their true voice, from
Yeah.
inside. So then
But
they feel really free, and then they
yeah.
start then when they're really free and they start seeing their future, that's what I want to, I don't like this, so I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, so
Yeah.
then I can start hearing the voice, then I can really work on what they wish for. So
Yeah.
yeah, this
And that's the power. That's the power. It is that kind
yeah.
of thing. Some people, like, and you said it earlier, people will come in with specific goals. That's what they want to heal. That's what they want different, and you work on that. But I follow a lot of like, so stories that come out are the subconscious. Like, the subconscious is there sharing that information because it's an opportunity to heal. And I do a lot of work with people now where we allow the subconscious to take them on a journey of what's healing. And you said it earlier, it is that thing of sometimes it's not what you're looking for or what that person is looking for, but I always set the intention that this is what is there to be healed today. There's a reason why that needs to get healed. And sometimes someone will come in and they've got, this is what I want, but I'm not sure. And when you're writing down notes from people, like, because it's coming from the subconscious, they'll say something, and then 2 minutes later you'll say that back to them, and they're like, no, I didn't say that. I was like, you did a minute or two ago, because we're not even aware of how we're acting sometimes, or how what message we're projecting into the world. And it is that thing, the stories come out because the subconscious is there. It's like the subconscious has automatically got a platform. Whoa, someone's listening to me. And whatever needs to be healed will rise to the surface. So those stories that they're coming out with are just the key to their healing sometimes. And that's the beauty of it. It's so powerful.
Yeah, so I always ask them like, just all I need is just be open. It really doesn't matter. Must be hard for some clients to share their vulnerable issues or vulnerability to show, or something very
Yeah.
private that you cannot see. I always tell them. I mean, pretty much I've seen everything in this world. Really, really. I mean, really. I mean, really. I've seen.
Yeah.
So I mean, not a criminal, then needs to go through something different. But there's it doesn't matter. But the most important thing is you want to be better and excited. And you want to change, and then you're willing to be very creative, and then enjoy this process, because we're all creative, and that's what I like about it.
Perfect.
There's no rules at the end. We learn all these modalities, right? But
Yeah.
at the end, it's I can't we can't explain it, but there is a
No.
system, of course, but
Yeah.
it's not only one system. It just we need to bring everything in the force in front, and then create it, and start seeing what the line is and what's going on. And because we have this amazing abilities that the body, mind, spirit all connected, and then we start feeling, oh, this must be a spirit, like maybe past life or so and so. I mean, I don't say it, but the clients or the other people who are working on the same issues, then they start feeling it. Then how can we explain this is not right? This is true. We are just not don't know how to explain or to prove that, like Einstein or something. But we know this
Yeah.
ability, and then once we believe in this ability and vibration and so and so, then things start rolling.
Yeah. Well,
Start
that's where
rolling.
that's where the creativity comes in. You have so many amazing skills and so much life experience that you allow yourself to step into that field and go, okay, I can use all these practices and all this experience I have, and I use it creatively to offer my client the best opportunity for healing. And it's about trusting yourself as well, and kind of going, okay, maybe I haven't seen this before. Maybe this is something new, but what can I draw from my past experiences? What can I draw from my skills and my practices, and kind of mold it in a way that actually will offer that person the greatest healing? And that's the beauty of what you do. It's the creativity, it's the flow, and it's the acceptance of
Yeah,
what
acceptance.
this is what it is. There's no kind of like, oh no, what do I do here? It's like, okay, let's just put that in front of us and look at it and kind of go, I'm guided to this point by this person who's looking for healing. Let's just go with it, see where we go. I mean, I don't I we've talked about it. Not one of my sessions is the same. I literally just go in, I ask for guidance and any help that I can get from wherever the universe. It's just, I don't specifically subscribe to anything. It's not. I just go. I'm looking for guidance. I'm looking for to be open-minded and to hear what needs to be heard in order to help this person to heal. And that's the creativity that you bring to all of your sessions. It's that beauty of
Mhm.
kind of like going, I'm not stuck in a box. I'm not here and this is all I can do. I'm drawing on all of my resources to heal and help this person to feel better and happy and love and flow and whatever they want. And yeah, that's your power. That's where you really kind of step into your beauty of this creativity and your
Yeah, I
modalities.
think
And
that's the only way we are all like artists, or I don't know, that's it's a right word. But anyway,
perfect,
the
it's a perfect
learning,
word.
learning, of course, learning the system and the structure. It's really foundation is very important. But if we
For sure.
start with only one or two or whatever the structure, then we lose our intuitive and also the sense and innate wisdoms, and we don't listen to this more beyond the ability that what we have. And that's more important, and each of us has a different character. You do amazing work, and I mean, I was amazed how much your details and you
Thank you.
investigate the details, so and so. It's like, wow, and I can't do that. That's your abilities, and you love that doing this meticulous work, and then taking people beyond. And I'm more sensitivity, and I don't know, more in a different way. So, but we learn the same modality, but if we
Yeah.
start with A, B, C, D, E like the same, of course we can use our ability to offer. This is also like a giving and receiving. At the end we say oneness, love, and acceptance, gratitude. I mean, that's the at the end, that's how we say yes. Actually, that's what we're doing.
Yeah. And that's what we're here for. I mean, I truly believe that it is that kind of, we're not here to be in pain. We're not here to have difficulty and challenges. Like I am love, peace, flow, light. It is what I think everybody should attain to. And that's what I send out to the world. And that's what I hope to receive back. But that's what I want to show it's what you're passionate about. And what I'm passionate about is just love and just light and free. And it doesn't mean like every single moment of your life has to be, it's not you're putting on blinkers and it's rose colored glasses. Life is life, but it is recognizing what's causing stress, what's causing, the
Yeah,
challenges, and breaking it down and healing it and changing it, because it is that kind of thing of, you have the power. Like we don't work on people, we work with people. All we do as facilitators is open the door, hold space for a person, and all that healing is already in them. All that love and the peace and the light, it's all there for them. But it's actually recognizing or allowing people to recognize in themselves that that's what's open for them, not this pain
Yeah.
and this hardship. And that's the beauty of it. It's that kind of what you bring to the world and what you send out into the world is what you allow other people, that holding that space, to recognize that in themselves. It's their own
Yeah,
divinity.
holding
Yeah,
space, and also, yeah. So at the end, it
yeah,
sounds like, oh my God, we are like a shamanic work, but that's what the only thing that we can explain. Holding the space, and then we know somehow what's going on. How to guide them. I can, yeah, right. So
yeah, yeah,
that's why we're giving this service, and then also that's the makes us happy. That's how our
yes,
spirit are full.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's the power. It's the power of kind of recognizing that. You know, I had a conversation with one of my children recently, and I've done a lot of jobs. I've done a lot of things, and even in the healing world, the massage, and you, it's getting up every morning and going, I don't have a job. I have something I really love doing. I'm very excited about it every morning. Like I finish with a client, and I'm like, this is not a job. This is such a privilege. I just love what I do. And if you can get up every morning and love what you do, and be motivated and excited about it, I mean, what better path in this world than to be able to help people and offer that kind
Yeah.
of guidance and just be there. It's so powerful. And I
It's
mean, who wouldn't
life
want that?
possibility, and they have more energy that they were willing to do something new or what they wish for. And then yeah, this is something that makes me happy too. Okay. Wow,
Yeah.
feel light, before you walk in was heavy and like nothing is possible. Then after you're like, I don't remember. Okay, I just gonna do whatever. Or like, why you are thinking this way? It's like, I don't know. And they laugh and they said, you know what, I wanna do this. And they don't some clients are not giving me any feedback. Sometimes I said, just tell me what's going on, and that's all. Then if I can say something, and then you need sometime mirror, like reflect to see it's doing okay or whatever.
Yeah.
But some people, they're like already, ah, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Then they start like do what they wish for, and they don't really dragging all this heavy feeling that they had from the past. And so it's a great job, no? Like
Yeah.
we see people change, and like,
Yeah. It's
yeah,
very beautiful. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, Yukiko, I thank you. Thank you for spending some time with me today. I really, we talk on a regular basis. I love talking to you.
yes,
Um,
me too.
so, where can people find you? Where can people come and, get some help from you, get some healing from you, and connect in with you? Can you give me some information? I'll put it also on the end in the comments, but
So
you
I
tell me.
have um, I have a website. It's all written in Japanese, but pretty much they're not really they're explaining all this history to say how the system works, blah blah blah. But basically, there's a email address that is in the below. If you write me what's going on, what's the concern, and you want to have some issue solved or whatever, just write me, because even written in Japanese, in the courses, I always ask all the clients, even in Japan, they said, what do you wish for this? Can you write me something about yourself? And then maybe I can suggest what kind of menu, like I can make a suggestion, and then they can choose from there. If they wanted to take everything, it's fine. If they budget wise is too much, or they want a shorter one, longer one, if I can adjust it, I apply it. But yeah, in English, of course, that's fine.
What's your website called?
YukkoTherapy.
Okay.
It's Yukko
Oh, I
is
see
my
it at the bottom
nickname.
actually on the,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yukko is my nickname, and therapy, this is straightforward. My
Yeah, pretty
sister
straightforward.
asked me like, what should
Is
I
it
call
dot
it?
com?
I don't know. And then Yukko, and then therapy. So that's like,
I like it a lot. Is it a
yeah.
dot com?
Jimbo.com. I will put the link. Yeah, send you the link
Okay,
and see, and the email
perfect.
address. But just be open, whatever, and then more you open, and then I can just write you back.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So that's brilliant. So, guys, thanks for joining us today. I've had the great pleasure of talking to Yukiko today. You can find her at YukkoTherapy, and I will include the comments at the bottom of the video. Thank you so much, Yukiko. It's such a pleasure. I love talking
Thank
to you, and it's such an honor. Thanks very much.
you.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.